Good morning and good afternoon to everyone who have joined this webinar today. Thank you for waiting. My name is Nishant and I will be your host for today's event. Firstly, thank you very much for taking out the time from your busy schedules and to join us in this presentation. Today, we will be talking about the power of data. And when it comes to lifting equipment, we will try to correlate how data is important and how you can make the best out of it. Most importantly, we will be talking about True Connect, which is one of our premium offerings. Now, fun fact, for those of you know the company Intel, Gordon Moore was the founder of Intel, and in 1975, he had predicted that the number of transistors in the world will double every 2 years. Since then, the prediction has been true to this day. And this proves how the world is moving to a very digitalized economy and how important data is for any kind of business or any kind of running the world, basically. Now, to introduce the futuristic product of True Connect, we will have Esa Kukula, who is currently based out of France. So it is quite early for him. Uh, but he's originally from Finland and has an extensive experience in this technology for, almost 2 decades. He currently serves as the global product manager for all the digital products and offerings from Konecranes. Before he begins, let me share some details about the webinar, right? For the smooth execution of this webinar, your mics will remain muted during the entire presentation. But we love questions. We would love to answer all your questions. So you may post your queries in the Q&A section. Right now, Esa, if you're ready, feel free to take it away. Towards the end, I will share all the queries and we'll have an open interaction towards the end, and let's answer all the queries for the attendees today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisant, and I'm very happy to be over here. And hello, everyone. So I'm Esa Kukkola, and I have been working at Konecranes since 2008, and in various positions and as an industry over 20 years already from different companies as an automation engineer, project manager, and maintenance engineer and maintenance in management positions. And today we are going to talk about TrueConnect remote monitoring product. So TrueConnect remote monitoring is a suite of different TrueConnect product monitoring services, which is based on data collection of condition monitoring units of the crane, so PLCs or other condition monitoring units, and also different sensors. Data is sent through the modem on the Amazon Web Service Cloud, and customers have access to data from own browser through the network, mobile network, from any location whenever user wants to see the data. Data is sent through the VPN tunnel, and it is encrypted, so it is very safe way to provide the data to customers use. Data in your Konecranes. So your Konecranes is customer portal where Konecranes service customers are able to receive the data. So in the fleet view, we can see maintenance-based information. So if you have maintenance agreement, we can see all maintenance-related information and all cranes at the fleet view. And we can also see TrueConnect compatible cranes, where we can see overall picture of the TrueConnect data. So we can see very easily if there are any safety related risks, maintenance needs, or we can use it for the troubleshooting purposes as well. Data can be filtered according to three main elements: condition of the components, alerts, or crane operation. Then we have a more specific views. So we have an activity view where user is able to see maintenance actions, what has been carried out on the crane. And also we can see TrueConnect alerts. And TrueConnect alerts shows the timestamp. It shows possible root causes and also recommended actions. So for those alerts where there are some recommended actions. So it helps you see when those anomalies has happened and what shall be done. Then we have a TrueConnect tab where we can see crane specific information. So we have shared this view for the three main topics. So condition of the components. So we can see selected critical components. We can see what is the current service lifetime of those components. We can see the replacement history of the components, and we can see the estimated service lifetime. So it is very easy to plan your maintenance actions and replacements when you know that when those works shall be done. So data is used for the maintenance planning, carry out maintenance actions from the conditions section. Then second indicator is alert section. We can see first Pareto analysis. So Pareto analysis shows ranks the alerts which are appearing most frequently. So you can focus on those alerts which are causing most of the problems. And the alert section is used for the maintenance purposes, so you can see if there are any maintenance required. It can be used for troubleshooting purposes, and as well, of course, if we can see some safety related indicators from the crane operation. So very comprehensive data, see how the crane has been operated and in which kind of condition it is. And then we have operating statistics, which shows how much crane has been operated, what kind of loads it has lifted, and also we can see the crane operation itself, of course. And if the operation is causing any safety related risks, or if the operation is causing excessive wear of the components. And all those sections shows traffic light indicators as well on the left side on the view. So green, orange, and red colors. Green indicates that everything is okay. So if you are very busy, you don't need to drill more deeper in the data. Orange means that maintenance planning shall be started soon, and red indicates that there are some findings already, and especially in the condition section, it requires that immediate maintenance shall be carried out. So very comprehensive data for maintenance planning and the crane operation data. What kind of data you can see? So in condition, we can see the hoist DWP, which is the mechanical service lifetime for entire hoist. So entire hoist must be replaced when this goes down to zero. We can see in brake service lifetime when the entire brake must be replaced, steel structures of the trolley, when trolley must be replaced, and we have some crane specific information. So if we have DMAC, DR, and DMR trolleys, we can see so-called truss truckers, which are support wheels, when those must be replaced, and contactors for two-speed hoist and hoisting speed for two-speed hoist. And we can see the over temperatures, which are critical information for hoisting motor. So if you have a lot of over temperatures, resistance and insulating resistance shall be measured from the motor, that we can ensure that crane reliability is in good level. Operating statistics, drive time, how much crane has been operated, and load, what kind of loads has been lifted. Those information shall be used to see that if the crane is in heavy use with heavy loads, of course, it requires more maintenance and inspections. And we can see also running time in terms of design class, cycles in terms of design class, and starts in terms of design class. What does it mean is that driving with in terms of design class reflects service lifetime for the rotating components like motors, coupling, gearbox, drum bearings, etc. So if design class is exceeded, it requires inspections and more maintenance for those components. Cycles in terms of design class reflects how the mechanical structures service lifetime is going. So if there is excessive use, we shall pay attention for inspecting those steel structures like welding joints and hook block, etc. This kind of mechanical parts. And starts in terms of design class is defined for the lifting motors. So if design class is exceeded, we shall pay attention for the reliability of the hoisting motor. We can see starts. So what is the how much hoist has been choked or inched, which indicates that if there's a lot of choking or inching, it is overheating the motor because it is continuous start and stops. It is wearing more faster contactors, and most importantly, hoisting brake, excuse me, service lifetime is ending faster. We can see overloads, which reflects that how much crane has been operated. If there are any hoist operation anomalies like shock loads, that's the clear operation error. It can cause overloads, but also important thing is that if there are overloads, it can also tell that hoist is in too heavy use, so it is lifting heavier loads what it has been designed. And emergency stops tells that brake is wearing faster, because emergency stop is sudden stop, which is stopping the crane lifting motion rapidly, so it is wearing the hoisting brake. So if there are a lot of emergency stops, it is also operation error or deviation, and it shall be fixed with the operator training, so that we are not wearing off the critical components too fast. New service which is coming is the notification, so each user can manage and set the TrueConnect notifications in future in APAC region, and we have notification from any of those condition related parts, and also emergency stops, overloads, and some critical components. So those notifications are sent for each user's email when this event appears. Maintenance related in every 7 days interval, and other alerts as a summary message once a day. So we are wrapping all those anomalies together in one message, and we will send it 7 o'clock a.m. next morning. Architecture, we are collecting the data from different hoists and cranes. Data is sent through the Ethernet network connection to the modem, and modem sends data to Amazon Web Service Cloud, and customer is able to reach the data from your connection's customer portal. Data is sent approximately every 1 hour, or if the data points values are changing. There are also some legacy machineries like older cranes where we have a little bit different data transferring system from the crane to modem, like CAN bus or serial links. We have different retrofits as well. So if you have cranes where TrueConnect is not available right now, so we can offer modem retrofits for CXTs, S-series hoists, some other competitor cranes like Welland, VT series, Nova, SWF Novamaster, DMAC DVR, which is the new crane type, Eret M Spacemaker as well. And then we have different trolleys like Uniton and Smarton cranes where TrueConnect report is available. But if there are some problems, we can offer the modem, or if it's a contactor control crane, we can offer modem retrofit as well. And waste energy cranes which are delivered after beginning of the 2019 are TrueConnect compatible. Then we have retrofit kits for DMR and DRs from the DMAC fleet, and other branded hoists. We can offer a retrofit kit, which is collecting the data from the hoisting contactors, up and down direction, fast speed, and then we are installing load sensor, which is collecting the data, what kind of loads have been lifted. And we have those different sensors as well, brake monitoring, which is monitoring the brake functionality. So indirectly, how big is the air gap, how the brake lining is wearing off, and how the electrical components are functioning. And both phenomenons, that's how brake is wearing, how the boost is working, and the combination of those two different things. So this is very important safety improvement tool, which is improving the safety of the customer. And wire rope monitoring, which is available for connect cranes trolleys, where wire rope diameter is is between 22 to 28 millimeter. So not smaller wire rope diameter or bigger. So once again, 22 to 28 millimeter ropes. So these two components, brake and rope, are one of the most critical load-bearing components, and we have product to monitor those conditions. So TrueConnect, it is improving your safety. We can see if there are safety anomalies due to crane condition or crane operation. We know better how the crane has been operated, if it's causing any safety risk, or if it's wearing the components more faster. And we can use the data for crane operation training, and we can see entire fleet where TrueConnect is available for the maintenance planning, carry out maintenance actions, see if the maintenance are if there are some maintenance related works to do, and also of course how the crane has been operated. So very important tool, see overall picture of the crane, and can be used for the analysis. Okay, then we can jump in the TrueConnect your connections customer portal. So let's just switch this.
Thank you, Esa, for the first part. Now, as he sets up his screen for the second part, we'll be jumping into the Your Konecranes portal, which actually is accessible to all of you if you are one of our customers. Please continue.
I suppose you can see.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So now I'm logged in Your Konecranes customer portal, and I have landed in the overview page where all crane users are landing when you are logged in own location. So here we can see overall picture of the crane data. So we can see service calendar and reports. We can see entire asset fleet. We can see the spend of the maintenance, how much for different maintenance actions has been spent, and what kind of findings there are. And then we can see also TrueConnect related information. So right now I will go to asset fleet, and if there are several locations, it will appear. So I will go to demo customer location 1, and I will land in fleet view right now to see entire fleet, crane fleet. So here we have fleet view where we can see crane cards. So each card over here represents one crane, and you can sort this data according to priority order, according to criticality, alphabetic order, etc. On the right top corner, we can see this Wi-Fi indicator, which tells that you have a true connection for the crane. If there is no this icon, we don't have a true connection, but most likely, if it's Konecranes crane, we can offer TrueConnect remote monitoring. So if it's standard Konecranes cranes, we can offer modern retrofit kit for those. If the icon is light gray, it means that the data has not been received in last 24 hours, which means that most likely crane is not powered on, so it is not sending any data. But of course, in some cases, there can be data sending failure, but most likely crane is powered off. Then we have a black icon, which means that the data was received in last 24 hours. If we go on the left side, on the bottom, we can see TrueConnect filters over here. It is divided for those 3 main categories. So crane condition, alerts, and operating statistics. We can see first here 3 different alert types: alerts per hour, safety and production critical alerts, where crane fleet is sorted so that cranes which have most of the alerts are ranked first, and then second and third, and so on. Then we can see crane operation data, cumulative loads, what has been lifted, and more crane lifts loads, more maintenance it requires. Of course, depending on what kind of crane you have. So Smarton is bigger trolley, which is lifting heavier loads. Sorry, I was just clicking the card. And then we have running time, which shows cumulatively how much crane has been operated, and again, more crane is operated, more maintenance it requires, and the inspections as well. And we have a hoist inching and chocking, so more crane has been crane operator is inching the crane. It means that faster brake service lifetime and faster contactor service lifetime and more motor is overheating. So you can see that in which crane this inching is happening. Overloads, if there are a lot of overloads, again, operation error or crane is too small for the lifting purposes. So operation error is hoist shock load. Emergency stops. So clear operation error. E-stop is pressed from the pendant or remote controller when hoist is in still motion. So emergency stop is registered only when crane is still moving. So it is stopping the crane suddenly. So it is wearing the hoisting brake. And then condition related information. If we have red colors like here, brakes shall be replaced immediately because the service lifetime of the brake is has ended already. And then orange colors, it means that maintenance actions shall be planned. So also brakes for these 2 cranes. So I would replace the hoisting brakes for all these 3 cranes right now. 4th crane, hoisting brake is still in a good condition. Then if I click this crane card, we will be landing in the activity view. So here we can see the maintenance findings. If customer has maintenance agreement, we can see the maintenance findings, excuse me, regarding safety risks or undetermined conditions. So some components shall be replaced or requires maintenance actions. And then we can see alerts if there are any alert from the crane, which are TrueConnect related alerts. So like here, today has happened 4 drive faults, system faults, and control system faults. If I click this, we can see this description. What is this alert? What is the possible root cause and recommended actions if there are some. And then if I want to see the timestamp for those, I just click this card again and it will open me more detailed view. So when each of those events has happened. So here we can see the timestamp. So this CAN bus is most likely causing also this control system fault. Then if I go to TrueConnect tab, which is the second over here, we can see TrueConnect specific data from the one crane. So we are right now in this crane 5, where we can see condition section. Condition section, depending on the crane type you have, we can see operating statistics. So this TrueConnect data varies a bit what kind of crane you have. So this is the DMAC DMR. So we can see the hoist DWP, thrust triggers, brake service lifetime, and contactor service lifetime. If I click here, I can select different cranes. So I take this Smarten crane and data is uploading. Demo effect, I will select second crane. Few seconds, please. Okay, now we are here. So we can see first summary of the findings. So brake monitoring unit is sending the data. So this is the sensor which is monitoring the brake condition. We can see that there has been 33 alerts, emergency stops, and what kind of loads crane has been lifting. We can see in the condition section right now service lifetime of the hoist. So this is the hoist DWP, and we can see that it is still like brand new. And this trend over here shows you how fast hoist DWP value goes down to 0 and when entire hoist must be replaced. So we can see that in 10 times estimation, it is wearing just approximately 5%. So no worries with the hoist condition. Hoist condition, hoist DWP service lifetime is wearing faster when hoist is lifting very heavy loads. So it is calculating the crane operation in terms of the lifted rated capacity in a cubic. So then we have a brake service lifetime. So it indicates that what is the mechanical service lifetime for entire brake. So we can see here that 47% is the service lifetime left. And during this period, 2023, brake service lifetime has dropped down more than 10%. So basically, brake service lifetime is approximately less than 1 year. So we can see here that 5 months time it has decreased 10%. So it lasts approximately 4 years. So here we can see the history of the data. So here is the replacement date, which has been done 2021 approximately. And this vertical bar represents here where we are today. And here is the estimated service lifetime. So brake must be replaced somewhere beginning of 2025. So maintenance actions shall be started by end of the 2024. So very easy to know when the brake must be replaced. Those orange and red icons means that when maintenance planning shall be started. Of course, it means that you need to come over here and check what is the service lifetime. So if you get this value on March 24, you can see that it will last 1 more year. So very easy to see that in 1 year time you need to replace the brake. Trolley steel structure, we can see mechanical service lifetime for the entire trolley steel structure. Again, everything is fine for next 10 years, no worries over here. Brake monitoring unit, which is monitoring the brake functionality, opening current and indirectly how fast brake lining are wearing and how electrical components are working. Later we can see that what kind of alerts we have from this brake. So again here we are in the threshold limit, so it is starting to send messages in the alert section that brake maintenance shall be carried out, and maintenance is required a bit later. So brake lining is wearing quite slowly as well over here. Oscillation here is a normal phenomenon. It means that the brake coil is heating up and cooling during the crane operation. So if crane is heavy operation, brake coil is warming up, so that is causing the oscillation. So that is the normal phenomenon. Only what you have to concern is that where is the service lifetime when we are reaching those threshold values. So here at latest maintenance must be done. So you open the brake and you replace the brake lining and adjust the air gap. Rope monitoring shows the condition of the wire rope. And once again, if we change the crane type, we can see bit different condition section. So in CXTs, we can see also contactor service lifetime here. So when contactors have been replaced and when it shall be replaced. So this is the 2-speed hoist. Then alert section. So again, alert shows in the Pareto analysis which alerts are appearing most frequently. So we can see here the boost failure from the brake monitoring unit. This is the critical information. So if there is boost failure, it means that the brake is able to feed only half of the opening current. So boost must be replaced fast. We can see that emergency stop is pressed sometimes, not too much. In a 5-month time period, only 33 times. So this is not very critical information, but just heads up with this information. Brake wear. So this threshold value has been reached, which means that we need to start to plan maintenance actions for the brake. Obviously, if there is boost failure, it must be fixed immediately. And safety limit tripped. This is indicating that maintenance must be done for the safety limit. So either crane requires that hook will be lifted very high, so that can cause the safety limit tripping. But also if the safety limit is not well adjusted, then this is the clear maintenance action what must be done. So adjust the safety limit. brake safe usage limit exceeded. So again, it indicates that brake requires maintenance. And then controller fault, one controller fault. So this is not critical because it has happened only once. Then we can see safety, all safety related alerts and all production related alerts. So Pareto analysis is ranking 7 most appearing alerts, but here you can see all of those. Then we have operating statistics where we can see crane usage, excuse me. So how much crane has been driven, what kind of loads lifted, and then how the crane has been operated. So first, cumulative operating hours in the time period what we are monitoring right now. We can see machinery specific information. If it's CXD, we can see the hoist specific information. Here with the SmartTon, we can see also bridge and trolley data. And then we can see the trend, how crane has been operated. So if there is rising trend over here, like here, it requires the more excessive maintenance and inspections if the crane is more operated, but right now it is stable, so increased maintenance is not needed. But of course, if the maintenance is dropping, then maintenance can be readjusted. But here, because it is just the 10th of May, we have a little bit less operating hours, so this is the reason for the dip over here. If I check from the CXT, we can see also this crane operation in terms of design classes. So M6 class hoist can be operated 8 hours max per day, and this crane has been operated 1.5 hours average per day. This is indicating if the crane is operated more than designed, you need to pay attention for the inspection and maintenance of the rotating components. Then we can see again how much hoist has been operated. This is in tandem use, as we can see, and here how much crane has been operated. It is quite stable use as well over here. Then load section, we see that how much cumulatively crane has lifted loads, and we can see the load spectrum. So a lot of empty hook operation, almost a little bit more than half of the operation is empty hook operation, and then in very light use, so 10 to 20% of the rated capacity is the lifted loads. So just a few overloads, but the crane is in very light use. Starts and cycles, so this is the indication of the hoist chocking, and here we can see that hoist is quite heavily chocked, which means that it is wearing off contactor service lifetime brake, and it is overheating the motor. We can see cumulative starts and cycles in 2023, and again we can see crane starts in terms of the design class. So if this reads 300 starts per hour age, you shall pay attention for the motor inspection. So you shall measure insulating resistance and resistance. Cumulative starts and then hoist cycles. Here we can see that hoisting cycles in terms of design class has exceeded the design limit. So here mechanical structure inspection is in place. So hook block and mechanical structures. So a lot of information how crane has been operated, in what condition, and what kind of maintenance actions shall be carried out. Emergency stops, not that many in about 5 month time. If there would be a lot of emergency stops, it would indicate that hoist brake is wearing, but because there is so few emergency stops, no excessive brake wear is detected. So this is very good sign. If there are emergency stop, it is clear operation error. And then overloads. So if there are a lot of overloads, it is telling that crane operation has some problems, like shock loads or crane is too heavy use. How we know if it's too heavy use? We can check the load section and we check this load spectrum, so we can see that it is lifting very light loads. So this is clear operational error. It is caused by shock loads. So operator is starting to lift hoist from the loosened ropes with too fast speed. We can see when those overloads has happened. Then over temperatures are indicating that the motor is overheating, and it is critical information because if the over temperature is reaching more than 160 degrees, it is halving the service lifetime of the stator winding. So even a handful of the over temperatures can be critical information. But this is the limit switch, so we are not showing the temperature over here. If we have a two-speed hoist, we can see also hoisting speed. So hoisting speed, slow speed shall not be more than 1/3 from the entire crane operation. Slow speed is overheating the motor because the starter windings is on the bottom of the stator. So it is causing more big air gap between the anchor and stator windings. So crane shall be used mostly with the fast speed. So this is the TrueConnect remote monitoring data in YoConnect customer portal. So we can see condition section, which is showing with the traffic light indicators, green, orange, red, what is the condition of those critical components. So we can see here that in brake service lifetime, brakes shall be replaced. Service lifetime is ending right now. And we can see the estimated service lifetime. So we can see the replacement history here, and we can see the estimated service lifetime. So data can be used for the maintenance planning and carry out the maintenance actions. Starts with the Pareto analysis, shows data for the maintenance purposes, again, like safety limit adjustment. It shows the immediate maintenance actions like boost failure. It must be replaced immediately, or it can be used for the troubleshooting purposes. If the crane stops, it can show you latest information in the alert section, which alerts has appeared. And also it shows the crane operation. If crane operation is causing any safety related risks, or it is wearing the critical components. And operating statistics shows how much crane has been operated, if it's operated in terms of the design classes, and it shows the load section, how heavy loads crane is lifting, and it shows the overall picture, how crane is operated, how the operators are operating the crane, if the operation is causing significant wear of the crane components, like here it is wearing brake contactors, overheating the motor faster because there are hoist docking, and you can organize operational trainings with those anomalies, like emergency stops or overloads due to shock loads. And also we can see if there are any over temperatures and what is the hoisting speed. So a lot of information to see the data. for see how reliable is the crane, what is the safety of the crane and crane operation. Now we have time for the questions and answers, so I will stop sharing the screen that I can see this Q&A section.
All right, thank you, Esa. Thank you for the detailed presentation so far. We do have quite a few questions, and let's get into them one by one.
Okay.
Now, to begin with, I'll just quote the question directly, and then we can discuss over it. Which maintenance activities or operations can be helped the most with this data?
So we can see for the maintenance actions, if there are some alerts from the limit switches, for example, from the inverters are providing alerts, and also from the load sensor we can have the data, and from the crane operation it is showing emergency stops, overloads, this kind of information. So alerts which are used for the maintenance actions we can get from different components like drives, condition monitoring unit, limit switches. These are the basically the data what we are able to receive.
So from the perspective of operations, the customers can understand what their crane actually is doing, and if there are a lot of overloads happening, they can maybe deep dive into that and avoid that
Yes.
from happening in the future. Am I right?
Exactly. Yes.
All right. Another related question on this is that how this data can be utilized in making AMC visits more useful, the preventive maintenance a bit more useful.
We have a PDF report, so of course it can be printed and used in the weekly meetings, the production lines, to show that what kind of information has been found from the TrueConnect. Of course, you don't need to print anything, you can show TrueConnect data already from the screen over there. But obviously we can see the condition from the condition section, so it is very clear indicator that those components must be replaced, and in the alert section we can see those alerts which maintenance actions shall be carried out right now.
All right, thanks. Now, since you mentioned about alerts, can you talk a little more about the notifications once again, please? Like on in terms of what frequency it follows, and so the customers have an idea about how that actually works in real life.
So TrueConnect notification service is not yet available for APAC, so your local organizations can tell you later on what kind of when this release will be done. But what data we can see from the notification is we have a condition-based information, so brake DWB, we have contactors and brake service lifetime, and some brake-related notifications. So you will receive this notification next morning 7 a.m. and for the maintenance-related information, it repeats to send a reminder in 1 week interval until system recognized that component has been replaced, and it recognized when component has been replaced because the parameter is changed in condition monitoring unit. And then operating specific information like overloads or emergency stops sends notification next morning again 7 a.m. as a summary message, and it will send next time if this alert will appear again. So it is sending once from the yesterday, and then if it appears again, it will send next one next morning. But it is not sending any summary message if there is nothing happening. We have also so-called custom notifications where user is able to set additional notifications by themselves according to crane operation cycles and start. And for example, if you add own custom notification, you select running time and you set interval when this notification will be received, like for example, inspect hoist coupling after 100 hours operation. This is as an example.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Now, in this day and age, just, out of concerns, out of security concerns, what kind of steps are taken for the safety of this data, as it gets passed over the cloud, from one equipment to some location where it is analyzed, for instance. So is it safe to let the device send so much data, or how is it protected?
Yes, so modem is pulling the data from the condition monitoring unit, and it is encrypting the data in modem, and then it sends modem through the VPN tunnel. So we are not using public internet. So we are using Konecranes VPN tunnel, and the data is decrypted in our data center, and it is stored in Amazon Web Service Cloud. So this is the global provider Amazon, which has own security for the data. So data transferring is very safe, and also storing is very safe because we are storing raw data over there. So number of the starts or operating hours. So we are not analyzing anything over there.
Fantastic. I believe I understand that a lot of work has been put into setting the framework so that the data is protected
Yes.
completely. Thanks. Thanks. Now, from our customers' perspective, typically how much time does it take for them to upgrade their equipment if they do not have TrueConnect installed? And where is the hardware manufactured, for instance? Just some basic queries on the lead times and the
Yes.
upgradation times on this.
Yeah. So modem retrofit can be ordered from the local service branch, and unfortunately, I don't know exactly what is the lead time for the delivery, but I would assume that several weeks it takes. But the installation itself is very easy and fast, so it requires approximately 2 hours to install this modem kit. So it is plug and play. Technician is installing this in the host cubicle or bridge panel. So connecting the Ethernet cable or serial link cable on the condition monitoring unit, and powers on the modem, and then modem must be activated. So we are linking the data for the right customer and crane, and the crane data is available in a couple hours from the installation in your Konecranes customer portal.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. I think we can take a couple more questions. So in terms of the data available on your Konecranes, are there different access levels, for the customers, let's say within their organizations, different layers in their hierarchy? They might need different levels of information. So can that be set for different people, or does everyone view the same data on your Konecranes?
Everyone sees the same data when they have user account, so it requires service agreement, of course. And only restriction is that if the TrueConnect product is not added on the service agreement, customers are not able to see these notifications. But there is no restrictions to different user levels. So all users who have a excuse me, your connections access can see TrueConnect data as well, if the TrueConnect contract is valid.
All right, nice, wonderful. Now, in APAC, it's a very diverse region where there are multiple languages, like just like any other part of the world. So, is the data on your Konecranes and the reports on it available in different languages apart from English as of now?
Yes, we have several languages to select, so customer can select own language over there. Usually it is as a default when it is adjusted, but yes, there are several languages. Over 10, I suppose over 10 languages. Unfortunately, I don't remember right now all languages what we have, but we can check.
That is good. That is good. Yeah. That'll be really helpful for our customers in this region to be able to access the data in whatever language it is comfortable for them.
Yes.
Thanks. Yeah. So one last question, maybe to wrap it up and summarize the day. And I think this is an apt question for that. How can TrueConnect help customers prioritize corrective actions? How they can utilize these data and improve their equipment overall. Just to summarize the benefits of this.
Yes. So obviously we have the condition section, which is showing the needed maintenance actions